Good afternoon, Cardinal fans. We're getting ready for some boys basketball, and we're dancing in OKEENE, Oklahoma today. The Cardinals matching up with the Cheyenne Reydon Bears here in OKEENE, Oklahoma. One of the nicest gyms you're going to see for a Class A school. This thing looks so new that it's practically got the new car smell in it. Cardinals were here last year, got to face off with OKEENE and then some teams from the Academy of Classical Christian Studies. The girls came out of this last year as district champs. This was districts, even though it's 3.5 hours away from Turpin. Boys came in and beat up on the hometown OKEENE team and then lost a close game to the Academy. This year, it's regionals. It's not districts. They did host some district games here last week. Cheyenne actually getting to play on this floor for 2 weeks in a row. They were here last week and played against OKEENE, beat up on the Whippets on the Thursday game, and then they faced off against Southwest Covenant, number 5 in the state, and Cheyenne lost to them in that game. Cardinals come into this game getting the bye to the district championships, and then in that district championship game played at Turpin on Saturday, the Cardinals fell in a rivalry game to the Texoma Red Devils. So Texoma is here at this regional, coming in the winner side of the bracket, and your Cardinal boys are on the loser side of the bracket. Let's take a look at those brackets. This is courtesy of VDog Media. VDog always asks that we give them credit, and I'm happy to do so. They put together a huge amount of effort on this thing, and so we'll show you the zoomed in view where you can see Turpin. That is the girls bracket we're looking at right now. That's the girls bracket. There we go. Now you can see the boys bracket. Sorry about that. So our boys lost against Texoma. Now they're facing off against Cheyenne Reydon in this game. And this is an elimination game. Whoever wins gets to play on Monday. Sorry, gets to play tomorrow. And we'll be playing against the winner of a really tough matchup between the Academy. Oh gosh, I don't have it there on that zoomed in one. We have another bracket that's zoomed out. We'll get that fixed up for you in a little bit. This Cheyenne team comes in with a winning record. There we go. There's the full bracket. And you can see it there. A matchup between Boone Apache and, the Academy and Canute, the two ranked teams. And the Cardinals will play against the loser of that game if they can get out of this game against Cheyenne Reydon. This Cheyenne Reydon team, let's take a look at them. This is not a team that we match up with very often. They come into this game with a winning record, 13-11. As you can see, they have played a whole pile of ranked teams. And in those ranked teams, it's not gone their way, but they've had a tough schedule. Watching some film on these guys, a quick look at our schedule first before we move on. As you can tell, our boys come in pretty well rolling. This is the best year for Cardinal basketball since the 2018 team that went 18-5. Cardinals have a chance to match that win total tonight, or this afternoon, if we can get the win here. Well, we've got about 10 minutes till the game. I wanted to take you through a little bit of scouting on them and watch some film on these guys and getting ready. And I got to tell you, folks, it makes me nervous. This is a game, this Cheyenne Reydon team, the Bears is their mascot, and they come in. This is a tough team. They have some really good outside shooting, and basically from what I could see on the games that were available to me, if you can hold their three-point shooting, you have a good chance of beating them. And like I said, that schedule is kind of a lie. They have only 13 wins compared to 17 for the Cardinals. They are a school that doesn't play football, so they had a head start on us. They were playing football back in November while the Cardinals were working their way through the bracket of the football playoffs. So they get a little bit of a head start. They get to play basketball longer. They play basketball more than we do because they don't have a football season. Those are advantages for them. They're in basketball shape at the beginning of the school year, where we're in football shape and work our way into it. But that 13-win record, I mean, I know you probably were looking at the 11 losses and thinking, oh, 11 losses, the Cardinals should run through this team like tissue paper. This is a team that averaged around 60 points their last several games until they ran into that buzzsaw, also known as Southwest Covenant. And Southwest Covenant's doing that to everybody. They are putting it on people. So these guys can throw up 60 at a moment's notice. Now, they do it in a much different way than the Cardinals do. The Cardinals will press you almost the whole game, will run a lot of man-to-man. Coach Carr will mix in different defenses. Cheyenne Reydon isn't doing it in that manner. They will run on you if you give them an opening, they're going to take off. They are quick. Their athleticism is not the same type of athleticism that we see with the Cardinals. This is not a track team that Cheyenne Reydon's going to put out there, but this is a basketball fast type of team. They all can shoot threes. Now, they are a catch-and-shoot style three-point team except for number 1, Gonzalez. Gonzalez will pull up and take a three. The rest of them, they like to spot up outside the three-point line. They'll play a style of ball that looks a little bit like 5-out. They'll drive and then they'll dish. They'll drive and they'll dish. They will kick it inside occasionally, and they do have some good size on the inside. Overall, they're a bigger team than the Cardinals, including number 50, Tanner Smith, who's a big old boy. You'll see him in a little bit. But Smith will step outside and knock down threes too. So they're a dangerous team on the outside. They can run, and they are a fast team when they take off running. They also have a tremendous press breaker, which makes me a little bit nervous. OKEENE tried pressing them a little bit. Now, OKEENE's had their struggles this year. And last week in the district opener, that was actually a fairly close game, more so than you might expect. Cheyenne jumped out early, had about a 10-point lead, but it stayed a very low-scoring game the whole way through, and Cheyenne ended up finishing it off, but never quite put OKEENE really away. They controlled the game, but didn't ever turn it into a blowout, never got the backups off the bench. Cheyenne doesn't have a very big team. They don't have a very large roster, so they're running a total of about 11 today. Cardinals are used to that. Cardinals will run the full 15. Sometimes have to leave some people home because the roster's big enough to be able to do that. Cheyenne doesn't have that same luxury. But because these guys have played basketball for longer, that might mean they're in a little bit better shape. However, from what I've been told, heard it from sources inside and outside the team, you're going to have a hard time finding a team that's in better shape than the Cardinals. Coach Carr has really done a lot of work, and Coach Barnes with working these young men, getting them ready for this season and making sure that tired is not an issue for them. And we've seen several games where some of the starters have gone the entire way with only momentary breaks. So we know they can go the distance if they need to. So back to that Cheyenne offense and defense. They are a half-court style team, but if you press them, they'll get through your press. I did not see teams press them very successfully. OKEENE kind of got run through when they tried to press them, but I don't know if that's more of an indicator of the strength of OKEENE's press or a measure of how good Cheyenne's press breaker is, but they got through it pretty quickly. But Cheyenne will run they'll run a half-court offense and a half-court defense almost entirely. They'll transition, but that's it. If they don't get it in the transition, they're going to sit down on you and pass it around until they hit that three. And just to warn you, there's games where they hit 37% on three-pointers, which as a team is just ridiculous. That is incredibly high. And then there's games where they only hit 1 out of 10. So the game against Southwest Covenant when they were playing against number 5, that's exactly what happened. Southwest Covenant guarded the three-point line well. Cheyenne never could get going, and they struggled the entire way on the way to a big loss. OKEENE tried but wasn't able to hold the three-point line, and in some of the games, they really got going. Multiple guys hitting 2, 3, 4 three-pointers in the game. So the Cardinals have to be careful of that. In the loss against Texoma, one of the factors scoring-wise that sunk the Cardinals in that district championship game was the three-pointer. Cardinals struggled a little bit to hold the corner. Texoma really pushed for it, using driving to try and offset the Cardinals' defense, put them on the back foot, and then chuck it out to the corner. Strong inside game for Texoma. Osa came up a little bit. Now, this Cheyenne team, the offense is not going to run through the bigs, even though they've got those bigs. What they'll do is they will occasionally pass it to them, and then they'll kick it back out. What the bigs do well for Cheyenne is they will get inside and they'll rebound and get putbacks on offense. On defense, I didn't see the same sort of rebounding intensity, so there might be a possibility for the Cardinals to find an edge there. Things that I'm looking for, I'm looking to see if the Cardinals' full court defense can put Cheyenne a little bit on their heels. This part of the state where Cheyenne plays, they play some really good half-court basketball, but it's not as much up and down the court. The girls actually do a little bit more full court than the guys do for that part of the state. But they're very proud of it. They're proud of their basketball. They do a great job, and they play hard. They take basketball really seriously, and they really look to their traditions as strong ones. Here's the setup with that bracket that I was showing earlier. The guys have to win today. If we don't win, we're done. If we do win, we play tomorrow. We play a ranked team no matter what. Between Apache Boone or, between, I keep saying Boone Apache because that's who the girls could potentially be matched up with. Between Canute or the Academy, you're facing either number 16 or number 14. Those are teams that we have played in the last couple of years. We matched up against Canute a couple of times in the Merit tournament, so we've seen those guys before. The Academy is the team that sent the guys home last year. So looking forward to a chance to be able to knock off a ranked team. Cardinals have done it several times this year. We've got 3 wins against ranked opponents so far, and a lot of people felt like the Cardinals should have been ranked coming into this one. One thing I did want to show you, if we have the map, Daniel today, our crew, we've got Nia is running the camera for you, and then Daniel is your engineer and putting stuff up on the screen. This playoff map, I was talking before the game with Cheyenne and their broadcast team, and it turns out our map that we made here with Turpin Broadcasting, turns out that thing went viral. We did not realize it, but apparently that map is being shared all over the state. Cheyenne let us know that that is something that they've been talking about. Coaches have been passing back and forth and talking about. And another thing that we commented on when we were discussing getting ready for this game, both of us feel nervous. You know, some of these games you walk in and you feel like you got the upper hand, and this one, these matchups are weird, and we will see what happens on the floor, but the matchups, it could be one of those games where you've got 2 fighters who cancel out each other's strengths, and then it comes down to something unexpected. One of the things as far as personnel goes that I'm looking for, I hadn't gotten into much of their actual players. I mentioned that they'll run. I mentioned that they are a half-court offense type team. They can press a little bit. I saw them run a 1-2-2, but I did not see them run it in the playoffs at all. So I don't know if we expect that. If I was them, I wouldn't press Turpin. With our team speed, I don't think that's something that we'd be likely to see. Pretty much everybody on that team can shoot. A couple of the guys, Oscar Gonzalez, the little point guard. I say little, he's diminutive as far as his stature goes. Tremendous player, though. Quickest guy for their side, maybe the quickest guy on the court. We'll see as the game gets going. Jakota Boyette can shoot the 3. I mentioned Tanner Smith, the big man. He doesn't start, but he'll come in off the bench. Big guy. He'll get blocks, and then he'll step outside and hit 3s. Colton Baker, another one of their bigs. He can also step outside. And then Rylan Pennington. They got 3 different guys named Rylan, by the way. And in an incredible coincidence, one of the guys' names is Ryan Beller. Rylan Beller. So they got Rylan Beller, Rylan Reno, and Rylan Pennington. Not sure what was going on in Cheyenne about 16 to 18 years ago, but for some reason, Rylan was a very common name. Maybe it's in honor of somebody local. Another name that I haven't mentioned yet, but we'll be talking about a lot, is Cord McLaughlin. Cord McLaughlin, tremendous player. He does a lot of work inside, gets a lot of rebounds, gets a lot of blocks. As far as defense goes, McLaughlin just gets steals like crazy. A lot of times he's sneaking around on the backside of the half-court defense and trying to pick off passes. These guys do that a lot. They can get things going in transition off those transition-type buckets from the steals. There's a lot that you're going to recognize. I told Cheyenne this team looks a lot like the style of offense and defense that we ran the last couple of years with Coach Biebermeyer. That's a compliment and one of the things that makes me nervous. All right, we're getting ready for the teams to be introduced. We're the visitors as far as it's listed on the bracket. Number 1, senior Jet Huffman. Number 3, senior Carson Peters. Number 5, senior Elijah Navarro. Number 14, sophomore Max Garza. And number 25, senior Jackson Leonard. Coach Tyler Carr in his first year with the Cardinals. Best record for the Cardinals since 2018. Looking to add to that and keep these Cardinals dancing. Here you go for Cheyenne. Number 1, Oscar Gonzalez. Number 3, Jakota Boyette. Number 12, Cord McLaughlin. Number 14, Rylan Pennington. And number 30, Alistair Stevens. Now, I didn't mention anything about Alistair Stevens, but one thing that did stand out on film, he's the guy who likes to dunk. He'll get out on transition buckets, and he will dunk. So he's the high flyer of that group. Like I said, they're a pretty tall team. You can see there as McLaughlin's matching up with Garza. Not a significant height difference, but they are a taller team than the Cardinals. And McLaughlin, the inside force that I know I'm paying attention to. McLaughlin will be matching off with Garza for the tip. And we're getting ready for playoff basketball, folks. Here it goes. McLaughlin gets it. Gonzalez has it. Cardinals immediately step up into the press. Boyette all the way over the top. Cardinals had an opening in the back to Stevens. Stevens gets the first bucket of the game. And the Cardinals press lets him down on the opening possession. Navarro has it in the half court, passes it off to CP. CP working against Stevens. Now to Huffman. Tell you what, they've got him, well, it's not a mismatch. They're playing zone. They've got Huffman inside. Gonzalez is trying to match up with Huffman. Cardinals would love to get that ball into Jet. Cardinals trying to twist up and tie up that Bear defense. CP penetrates inside. Shots up, it's a miss. Jackson Leonard has it, but it's blocked. McLaughlin, such springs in his legs. Rebound ends up in CP's hands. He puts up the follow, gets it to go, and it's all tied up at 2 apiece. We get to Gonzalez. Oh, that might have been travel. Pennington, you can see him driving in. Pennington hits a bucket to answer CP's. Both teams have scored on their opening possessions. Cheyenne with the early advantage, 4-2. Huffman kick out to CP. CP with a long 3. It's a miss. Tipped around, ends up in Boyette's hands. Boyette looking down the court for Gonzalez. Gonzalez had snuck behind the Cardinal defense. Cardinals are setting up now. Looks like the Cardinals might be running a press. OKEENE ran a really big 2-1-2 press. Really extended that thing out. Cheyenne doesn't show a lot of ability to score inside the three-point line. They'll kick it to McLaughlin here, though, and he does a great job. Cheyenne just demolishing my scouting report. They've hit 2 inside jumpers already, and they sit at 6 now. Navarro's holding it. Out to Garza. Garza with Gonzalez on him. Now over to CP. Stevens on him. Garza. Gonzalez matching up on him. Cheyenne's running a man-to-man now. They're kind of sagging off of certain players. Kind of a matchup zone almost, what they're doing. Oh, ball went off Navarro's foot and squirted out of bounds. Fowler's going to come in for Leonard. One of the things I'm watching also is Coach Carr will run much deeper into his bench. He's got a much bigger rotation than what Cheyenne will do. Stepped out of bounds. Turnover Cheyenne, and the Cardinals' pressure pays off. OKEENE slowed Cheyenne down. They didn't so much get turnovers against Cheyenne, but they did manage to slow Cheyenne down. And Cheyenne, like I said, not really a full court team, but they will get out and run in transition, and they will take off. they'll really commit in transition. Huffman back up to Garza. CP round the horn, it goes to Navarro in the corner. Navarro over the top of the screen. Couple of dribbles and the Cardinals will kick it down the other way. Fowler takes a look at it, but he didn't want that three. So he'll pass it off to Navarro. Navarro likes it. Cardinals have taken a couple of threes, but are cold to start the game. They're down by 4, but it's early. Oh, my word. Pennington saw Gonzalez sneaking behind the defense and baseball passed it. Just about bounced it off the Cardinal cheerleaders. They were able to get out of the way. Lots of dodgeball in their early years in PE. A lot of experience there. They didn't think they'd need it with a round ball coming at them like that basketball was coming off Pennington's hand. In the half court, the Cardinals set up on offense. CP out to Huffman. Huffman's looking for an opening. Gonzalez is really chasing around Huffman. Into Garza. They've got a mismatch on the inside. There's Gonzalez actually against Garza, so the Cardinals were looking to take advantage of that. Garza couldn't get the post move to fall. Boyette to Gonzalez. Gonzalez has it. Dribbles through the Cardinals defense over to Pennington. Pennington on the wing. McLaughlin's patrolling the free throw line, then he'll step back out. They've got Stevens underneath, but they'll run this offense really far away from the basket. As you can see, they're way beyond the three-point line. They're trying to spread things out and get open shots like what Gonzalez got there. Gonzalez thought he got fouled on the contact from Navarro, but it was just a little bit of contact on the hands. Ball bounces out of bounds. Last touch by the white jerseys, and the Cardinals will have it. So this might devolve into two teams just taking turns shooting threes. Navarro's going to walk it up the half court. Pennington's on him. Boy, the howdy, Cheyenne has got some interesting matchups there. CP penetrates, gets the bucket to fall. He's going to draw a foul. He'll get the chance for the and one. CP's got both of the early buckets for the Cardinals. And the foul was called on Stevens. That's his first. CP makes it, and the Cardinals are back within 1. Steal by Alvarado, who had just come into the game. Over to CP. CP's up, and he's going to get another foul. This one's going to go on Gonzalez. So the Cardinals are having success now that they're attacking the bucket. First foul on Gonzalez, second foul on Cheyenne Reydon. No fouls on the Cardinals yet. Nope, one foul on the Cardinals, that's right. No, I take that back. No fouls on the Cardinals. CP makes the free throw to tie things up. So Alvarado's in the game. I mentioned Coach Carr using the bench. And so we've already gone 7 deep for the Cardinals. CP makes both, and the Cardinals now have their first lead of the game, 7-6. Pinning them up top, over to Gonzalez. Oh, Navarro ran into Gonzalez. He was trying to stop, not quite sure what was going on there. He was chasing after him. Gonzalez pulled a crazy Ivan, stopped right in front. Don't know if he was trying to draw the foul or not, but he got rear-ended, drew the whistle on Navarro. Cheyenne will run the half-court offense now. Steal by the Cardinals. Oh, here we go. Beautiful pass, and then a reverse layup by Elijah Navarro. And Cheyenne's going to have to take a timeout. There's your Cardinal cheerleaders. Coach Pierce did not like what he saw there. Cardinals, after being down 6-2, have gone on a 7-0 run and now have a 3-point lead. Gonzalez wide open on the backside. He gets in the short corner for Stevens. Oh, Stevens looked like he moved that pivot foot, but referee's much closer. He's got a better view than I do. Boyette's going to start things over. Boyette and Gonzalez are pretty short as the top 2 guards on that offense, but they rotate people through pretty quickly. Cardinals are running a zone. they're not afraid of that three-pointer so far from Cheyenne. Cheyenne's trying to kick it back and forth. Gonzalez is open. He'll drain one. Hate to sound prophetic, but that's exactly what happened. These guys will kick it around until they find an open three. And pretty much everybody they've got out there on the floor right now, with the exception, I haven't seen Stevens put them in, but they definitely got three guys out there that can hit good ones. Oh, the Cardinals are finding an advantage here when they get the ball to CP. Another foul on Cheyenne. This will be the first on Boyette. That was on the floor. Over to Huffman. Huffman's wide open. It's a miss. Fowler's trying to tip it around. Bears have it in the half court. It's over to Gonzalez again. I tell you what, a lot of this offense is running through Gonzalez in the early part of the game. They're getting it into his hands. McLaughlin passes it off, and he's trying to sneak around the backside behind CP. He's fantastic at getting a hold of rebounds and putting them back in. Cardinals have to be careful of that. Pennington comes over the top. Alvarado didn't do a good job blocking out. Pennington saves it, and the Bears will get another chance. Boyette's got it. Alvarado and Navarro are harassing, coming all the way out. The Bears, again, will extend this offense almost all the way to the timeline. Gonzalez over to Boyette. Boyette on the corner. CP steps in front of a pass intended for Gonzalez. Knocks it out of bounds, but it got tipped first. Cardinals are bringing it up. Huffman in the half court. Huffman on the drive, trying to work against Pennington. He's got a quickness advantage on Pennington, but Pennington fell back well. Cardinals kick it back out. Alvarado in the corner. Cheyenne's finally brought in a sub. That's Colton Baker. Navarro out to Huffman. Huffman penetrates in, working against Pennington. Gets the jumper up. Cardinals are cold as ice right now. What's working is attacking the basket with CP and getting fouls called on OKEENE. But I tell you what, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm worried because these Cardinals aren't going to stay cold forever. Baker drives baseline, looks to the backside for Stevens. Stevens, using that jump, elevates up, puts it in. That's now 4 for him. Huffman comes the other way, and the speed for the Cardinals on display. Hot knife through butter all the way through that defense. They didn't allow the Bears a chance to get set. It's all tied up at 11. Pennington, long pass backside to Baker. Baker into Stevens again. Cardinals not quite returning in time. The two teams both getting down the floor quick on each other and taking advantage of a defensive lapse. Alvarado into the corner for Fowler. Fowler's going to put it up for 3. It's a miss. Nobody's ready for it. Pennington steps in and gets the rebound. Long pass for Stevens, and it's another turnover. Cheyenne has had a whole bunch of unforced turnovers in this first quarter, but lead by 2. Cardinals cold as ice, no three-pointers yet. Trying to get going from behind the three-point line, trying to get those mid-range jumpers to fall. So far, the Bears defense is holding. Oh, Navarro lost the ball off the pass from Huffman, tried to recover it, but stepped out of bounds right as he regained possession. 2.2 seconds left. Cheyenne will throw it in. Long pass. Huffman using those defensive back skills, and McLaughlin will just chuck it off the backboard. Tremendous show of strength there. And we'll end the first quarter. Cardinals down by 2. I told you this is one of those snake bite type games. Ignore the records. Cardinals with 17 wins, Cheyenne with 13, and the Cardinals with only 4 losses to 11 for Cheyenne, but none of that matters. Nobody gives you extra points for your record. Cheyenne played on this court twice last week. That might be a little bit of an edge. They have the lone three-pointer in the game, and a couple of times getting behind the Cardinals defense has paid off, and there you have it. Cardinals down by 2 coming out of the first. Huffman's got 2, by the way. Peters has 7. Navarro 2, and there's your scoring. Only foul of the game so far for the Cardinals is on Elijah Navarro when he ran into Gonzalez. So 11-13. Coming up later today, Cardinals the Lady Cardinals will be facing off against the Cheyenne Reydon Lady Bears. That will be at 6 o'clock this evening. That game's also going to be here at OKEENE, but if you're not on the road already, you're not going to make it here in time for that one. Cardinals on the floor to start the second quarter. You got Max Garza, Elijah Navarro, Saul Alvarado, Carson Peters, and Jet Huffman. You got Stevens, Baker, Boyette, McLaughlin, and Pennington out there for Cheyenne. Long shot's a miss. Chucking it down the floor. Oh, my word. How is that not a travel? Oh. Well, bad call that didn't make it. Looked like Stevens got an extra pivot foot out of the deal. Cardinals reacted to it instead of just playing, and before it's all said and done, McLaughlin gets a bucket and gets a foul called against the Cardinals on Carson Peters. McLaughlin made the bucket, so that extends the lead for the Bears to 4 points, 15-11. And it's another time where the Bears are getting a little bit further down court than the Cardinals. They're beating the Cardinals defense down the court. CP loses it. McLaughlin, underneath a whole pile of bodies, comes up with the ball, looks to the ref, and calls timeout. That's going to burn another timeout. That may come in handy later on, but Coach Pierce likes it. He likes the effort from his player. So that's the second timeout of the game. And the Cardinals lose the ball. So Cheyenne will have it at about half court coming out of this timeout. Tell you what, Cardinals were a little bit sore about that. They really thought that long pass to Stevens was a travel. A lot of the cheerleaders actually reacted to it. Coach Carr was sure of it. I got to tell you, I was pretty sure of it as well, for whatever that's worth. But the referee, who was right there, didn't think so. Stevens got the benefit of the doubt. Ball bounced around a little bit, ended up in McLaughlin's hands. McLaughlin put it up, got a foul on it, put the bucket in, and it's a 2-bucket advantage now for the Bears. They pass it into Boyette. Boyette down the floor. Pennington's got it. CP comes away with the steal. Kick out to Garza, scrambling for it with Stevens. I tell you what, it's playoff basketball when you see this kind of effort. They're going to call a foul on Garza. Max was scrambling for it with Stevens, and Max is going to get a foul. That's a loose ball. So another foul on the Cardinals. The Bears saved the possession. CP had gotten that ball away, but couldn't get a clean pass over to Max. Max had to scramble for it. Pennington's got it. Tell you what, Pennington's a pretty good ball handler. And another foul on the Cardinals. Saul's called for a push. His hands were up in the air. Cardinals are struggling. Cardinals got to pull this thing back together quick. It's only a 4-point difference, but all of a sudden it's 3 fouls on Cardinals in a minute. And now the referee just warned Coach Carr. We haven't seen that all year. So that is a bench warning on the coach. So that means the next thing that would happen would be a technical. McLaughlin with the shot. It's a miss. CP's got it. Tell you what, some coaches will do that on purpose. They want their team to see them standing up. They want them to see how serious they are. Coach Carr is a pretty wily fellow. I've already seen tremendous strategy from him on all sorts of occasions. I wouldn't doubt if it might be something he's doing on purpose to get the guys to dial in. Here comes Garza for a 3. It's a miss. Stevens has the rebound. Going the other way. Pennington's got it, and now hands off to Boyette. Cheyenne's gone really big here. They took Gonzalez off the floor when they subbed in Baker for him. Baker's kind of a skinny dude, looks pretty young, but that's a tall team out there. At every position on the floor, when they're matching up, it looks like except for Boyette, and depending on who Baker's matched up with. the Bears have a height advantage. Cardinals are backing off a little bit here. They're running a 1-2-2 zone, extending it out a little bit, making sure the three-point line is engaged. But Pennington has stepped all the way back, and Cardinals are going to let him. Pennington's got it. Pennington has been on the other end of a lot of passes that have gone out of bounds. This one, he was throwing it to Stevens. Stevens was open, but Stevens wasn't looking at it. So pass goes awry, out of bounds with nobody touching it, and the Cardinals will have the ball. Cardinals got to put something together here and right this ship. It's been 3 fouls. Oh, that'll do it. Inside to Huffman. Bucket is good. Navarro picks up the assist. Tremendous job on it. Foul's going to go against Pennington. That'll be his first. And Fowler's going to come in for Max. Cardinals have had a lot of great missed opportunities. They've had a lot of shots inside that have been just barely off. Huffman makes the free throw. Sorry about that, folks. I don't have a cough button. Boyette trying to get rid of it. Oh, Fowler's not there in time. Almost had another steal. Cardinals press. It's been feast or famine. Either we're causing them problems and getting turnovers, or else they're getting through it and getting buckets on the backside. Pennington on the wing. With Gonzalez out, they don't have Gonzalez in. They don't have Smith in. Boyette will shoot the three. They got a couple of other guys that'll shoot the three, but it's a different team. They're trying to force it inside. Oh, CP gets pulled down from behind by Stevens. One-point game now. CP's going to bring it up. We'll see what Cheyenne's doing. Looks like they're in a man. They're really laying off a Fowler out there. CP wide open for a three. Drains it. That's big. Cardinals have the lead again. Cardinals put that box press out there. Long pass over the top. Baker's got it. Baker will reset, gives it to Boyette. A little more bounce in the step for the Cardinals. They've got a 2-point lead again. Boyette into the short corner for Stevens. Stevens, nice move, nice body control. Down the floor it goes for Huffman. Huffman scrambles with Pennington. Pennington did a good job to recover. Pass just wasn't quite deep enough for Jet, and the Cardinals lose the ball on the turnover. Baker's in the half court, double team. Cardinals are a step slow right now. Just a little bit, could be the long bus ride. Coming from Northwest Oklahoma, that's the deal. All of these playoff games, you're on the road for a long time. Backside's wide open again. McLaughlin snuck inside. He tries to get his own rebound after the miss. Fowler helps get him off kilter, and the Cardinals come down the floor. Tell you what, slick spot on the floor. Navarro almost loses his balance. Such body control. Elijah puts it in. It's a 2-point lead again for the Cardinals, 19-7. McLaughlin's got it in the wing. Bears get it up the floor in a hurry. Over to Baker. Baker back to Boyette. And the Cardinals reset. Cardinals are running, you can call it a 3-2 or an extended 1-2-2. Oh, here we go! Stevens has really been throwing himself in there. CP saw it coming, set him up for it, and drew the foul. That is now, by my count, that is 3 on Stevens. That is huge. Coach Pierce is going to have to take him out. He didn't do it. Stevens is staying in with 3. Pierce doesn't like it. He's talking to the ref. A lot of people would say the reffing's good when neither side's happy with him. Sometimes I think it could just be bad officiating, but I'm not complaining in particular. I can just tell you neither bench is too happy with the officiating. On that one, though, with Stevens picking up 3 fouls, Cardinals will take that. CP was posting up. Big advantage inside. Elijah hit him right as CP was resetting his position. Ball went a little bit awry, too far outside of CP's fingertips and out of bounds. Cardinals have a whole pile of turnovers in this first half. it might be a matter of whoever can get things cleaned up in this game as to who's going to take the win and survive to dance some more tomorrow. Tipped around, Cardinals come away with the turnover this time. CP leading the break, out to Navarro. Navarro, what body control again. I tell you what, you get Elijah Navarro with a clean path to the basket, and by clean, you can put 2-3 guys in front of him, but if he can sniff an opening through there, there's a really good chance that ball's going in. Navarro gives the Cardinals a 4-point lead. Gonzalez has come back in. Pennington looking into the corner. New guy who's come in. It's a miss. CP fighting for it, but McLaughlin, tremendous player on the inside, fights for it, gets the rebound and puts it in. We'll see who this goes on. That is Jackson McDaniel, who just came in for the Bears. McLaughlin had a bucket and an and one earlier. He's going to get another chance at it. This foul is going to go on Navarro. That is his second. Elijah has had a tendency to work himself into foul trouble in several of the games this year. He picks up his second. McLaughlin picks up 3 points on the classic three-point play. And the Cardinals are back on offense with a 1-point lead. Gonzalez just about steals it. Lob pass inside for CP. That pass just wasn't deep enough. Cardinals have been off a little bit on passes. Oh, Gonzalez snuck inside the Cardinals defense. Miss on the shot. McLaughlin throws himself in, but nobody's blocking out for the Cardinals. Lucky for the Cardinals, McLaughlin isn't as good on follow shots as he is on those shots when he's being fouled. So he misses that one. Cardinals have the rebound, go the other way, and will set up for their offense. Elijah, quick trigger three. Gonzalez dives underneath Garza. And here you go. I told you the Bears will go fast in full court. Tell you what, if Garza was willing to take that hit, he would have drawn another charge on McLaughlin. He ends up with the rebound, though, and the Cardinals are going the other way. Out to Alvarado. Alvarado penetrates. Ball gets tipped out of bounds. I don't know how they call that out on Saul. Ball obviously got tipped. Either way, it is out on Saul. Cardinals turn it over again in the half court. Cardinals struggling to play clean here. Gage Peters is going to come in. Navarro's going to get a break right before half. 30 seconds left. Coach Carr, you're going to use a trick a lot of coaches take to give his players a little bit extended break. McLaughlin inside, and another foul inside. I think this one's going to be on CP. Sure enough. Saying CP got him with contact on the side of the head. So several players came out. Coach Carr pulled a couple of guys trying to protect them, give them a little bit extra rest. CP stayed in, though, and picks up his second foul just before half. McLaughlin hits the first free throw. Garza's going to come back in for Fowler. Jag Huffman's going to come in for Alvarado. McLaughlin makes both. And it's 22-21. Bears with a 1-point lead. It's been I'd say it's a dogfight, but you got Bears and Cardinals involved here. Long shot by Huffman, and the Cardinals have the lead again. 5 seconds left in the half. Gonzalez got left open, but misses the three. Huffman's got it. He's going to go for a Harlem Globetrotters full court shot, but he's not a Harlem Globetrotter, and that ball doesn't go in. We reach the half, and the Cardinals battling back and forth with a very game Cheyenne Bears team. What a game it's been so far, but I'll tell you what, I don't know if you have any fingernails left by the end of this one. I don't know if your chair will have anything left on the edge of it. A couple of years ago, we came up with the term cardiac cards with that girls team that went 5 overtimes deep in regionals, and man, oh man, this one has that kind of feel of two teams that are canceling each other out and might have to go the distance to decide who gets to survive for another game. Let me run through some totals. Huffman's got 7. No, Huffman's got 8. I don't have foul, steals, blocks, all that stuff for you. Well, I do have fouls. I don't have all the rest of it. Peters has 10. Navarro's got 6. Nobody else has points for the Cardinals. Carson has 2 fouls and Elijah has 2 fouls. Max has 1 and Saul has 1. For Cheyenne, Reydon, Gonzalez has the 3-pointer early. Cord McLaughlin has been a big part of the scoring. It's been McLaughlin and Alistair Stevens before Stevens got 3 fouls. McLaughlin has 9 and Stevens has 8. So that's the majority of their scoring. Pennington has the only other bucket. As far as foul trouble goes for Cheyenne Reydon, Alistair Stevens has 2. The rest of the starters mostly have 1, except for McLaughlin. McLaughlin playing hard, getting in there, getting his nose in there, as they'll say, and getting a lot of rebounds and causing problems for the Cardinals inside. That's the way it looked when I was watching video on these guys. Shoot a whole bunch of threes and let McLaughlin do the dirty work on the inside, cleaning things up and also just showing some leadership on the inside to keep teams honest. And so far, that's exactly what we've seen. The only thing that surprised me is I did not expect Stevens to do such a good job of getting behind the Cardinals' press. So the Cardinals' press has caused some turnovers. Especially Pennington has struggled to find the open seams in our press. And so he's thrown some balls away, and that has helped out. The Cardinals' defense got some turnovers and has been able to come the other way. Not so much in transition, although we do have a couple of transition buckets. But it's just been a duel. It's been a duel. So we're going to take a break here. We'll leave it on and come back here for the second half. But I don't know about you, but I'm going to need a drink and just settle down the nerves a little bit. This playoff basketball is a whole lot. So take a break and be back in a moment. Oh, here we go. More playoff basketball. I tell you what, these close games are sure a pleasure, but they get your heart rate up. They get your blood pressure skyrocketing. They just have you in that fight or flight mode, and we sat through a whole half of it. Tell you what, this Cheyenne Reydon team, looking at the record, I thought this would be potentially an easy game for the Cardinals, and once I started looking at, it wasn't the record, it was once I started watching film on these guys, it's exactly what we're seeing. Now, there is one big X factor that I'm holding some hopes on. I know we're holding a lead right now. We were cold as ice in that first half. There was nothing from outside other than that Huffman 3 and 1-3 from Carson, but you guys know how this team can shoot when they get going. Talked to Cheyenne's guys at halftime, and I tell you what, the comment they had was just the team speed for the Cardinals. The athleticism to get down the floor so quickly, and they're concerned with, they're so young. They don't have a single senior on the floor. Now Stevens is back out on the floor. McLaughlin, turnaround jumper, hits it. Tie game again. For the Cardinals, it's not quite the starters. You got CP, Jet, Elijah, Riley Fowler joining the starters with Max Garza. Huffman probing, kick to the corner for Garza. They're chasing around a little bit. They have some guys that are following. I can't quite pick up exactly what Cheyenne Reydon's doing on defense, or if they're just switching spots on the zone occasionally. Missed on the shot. Cheyenne has it in the rebound. Into McLaughlin again. McLaughlin rims around and falls. 4 quick points for McLaughlin, and the Bears have the lead again. Navarro up top. Out on the floor for the Bears, by the way, it's the starters. Inside to CP. CP trying to get up. Gonzalez trying to hang on to him. Referee's really letting him play inside. Garza's open for 3, but can't get it to fall. Huffman goes up. McLaughlin flops. No call either direction. Jet puts up the jumper, and it ends up in Pennington's hands. Pennington been a tremendous rebounder in the first half for the Bears. Bears get it down the court against the Cardinals press. Gonzalez into McLaughlin. McLaughlin puts up the jumper. It's a miss. Garza's got the rebound. Navarro getting up the floor quick to Huffman. Huffman goes baseline, but Pennington shuts it down. And Navarro's got it up top. Now Stevens on the floor has 3 fouls. Stevens right now is chasing around Elijah. One of the things you might see is get that ball to Elijah. Oh, said Elijah might shoot. I didn't know that he was going to be putting down that 3-pointer so quick. Baseball pass into McLaughlin in the middle. McLaughlin to Stevens. Fowler looked like he tipped that ball from behind. Referee really didn't like it, and he's going to call a foul on Fowler. Stevens going to go to the line shooting 2. So Fowler at least didn't give up the easy bucket. Stevens made a habit of getting behind the Cardinals defense to the tune of 8 points in the first half. Stevens misses the first. Alvarado's going to come in for Garza. Bears sitting on a 2-point lead. Second shot's a miss. Alvarado fights for it and gets it. Beats Stevens to the ball. Alvarado out to Huffman. Navarro's got it up top. Tell you what, they've got Stevens guarding Navarro. I'd love to see Elijah get it and drive against Stevens. Stevens had a habit of fouling, picking up 3 in the first half. It's out to CP, wide open for 3. Looked like he got some contact on that. CP gets his own rebound, goes up. McLaughlin wants that block bad enough that he's going to do whatever he has to do, including picking up a foul. In the first half, CP driving to the bucket led to lots of good things. Cardinals go back to it, and again, more positive benefits follow. CP gets to shoot 2 now. McLaughlin picks up a foul. That is only his first. McLaughlin goes for a lot of blocks, but has played clean. That's only his first foul. CP hits another free throw. That is his 4th. And Carson will try to tie it here at 26. He does. Cardinals slap that box press on the Bears. Boyette's got it over to Pennington. And Pennington really likes that baseball pass, and sometimes that ball was getting away from him in the first half. He had a whole pile of turnovers. Inside to McLaughlin. McLaughlin kicks to the corner for Gonzalez. Back into McLaughlin. McLaughlin really distributing that ball. Pennington's going to take a jumper. This is a miss. CP could have blocked out. Instead, he didn't. Stevens with the miss. Oh, McLaughlin. I tell you what, this game's getting called kind of loosely. McLaughlin, pretty sure that was an extra pivot foot. Either way, the Cardinals come away with the rebound and the possession. A lot of chaos on the offensive possession for the Bears, and the Cardinals will take their turn. Huffman gets Pennington in the air. Kick back out to CP. Cardinals running it through the seniors right now. Huffman jab steps back out and then gets it to CP. Elijah penetrates, trying to get Stevens up in the air. Huffman with the long three and hits. Cardinals leading 29-26. I'd commented on the Cardinals shooting being X factor, and turns out that has been the difference so far here in the second half. Huffman steps in front of a pass and steals it. Gonzalez helps shut it down. The Cardinals will start their half-court offense. Navarro going baseline. McLaughlin sets up. Beautiful pass to Fowler. Stevens is going to take his fourth foul. He couldn't hold off. Elijah penetrated. McLaughlin stepped up trying to take the charge. Elijah saw that coming. You're not going to get a charge on Elijah. Elijah elevates, kicks it over to Fowler, who'd snuck in on the backside post. Riley goes up, and Stevens just can't hold off. Grabs a hold of his arm. Fowler goes to the line, misses the first. The big thing is Stevens picking up his fourth. Stevens and Pennington both go to the bench. In come Baker and McDaniel, so a significant size exchange there, taking out two of the bigs and bringing in two guys that are quite a bit shorter. Cardinals get the rebound right away. You see the difference in size coming into play. CP with a jumper. Cardinals seniors are putting it on their back right now, and they now have a 5-point lead. Box press into the middle for McLaughlin. He kicks it over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez barely hangs on to it. Back into McLaughlin. Backside corner for Baker. Baker's wide open. Rims off. CP fighting for it. Navarro's going to come in. Oh, no! Oh, that looked like a bad fall. McLaughlin dove into Navarro's knee as he was grabbing it. No dirty on the play. Oh, Navarro getting up slow. Holding that leg. That knee kind of buckled on him. McLaughlin will take the foul. That is now his second of the quarter, and that's all he's got for the game. Gosh, sorry for my reaction on that, but that looked bad. We'll watch Eli and make sure he's okay. Huffman goes up. Ball gets tipped away. It'll stay with the Cardinals. McLaughlin's got his hands on his hips. He's starting to get a little bit tired. I tell you what, he's been carrying the offense on his back for much of this game. Leading scorer for the Bears, and he's not able to come out. They really need him in there for that rebounding. Huffman. McLaughlin couldn't come out to chase him. Navarro pulls away a rebound, goes up, trying to save it. Bears are doing a much better job of getting inside for the rebounding. Navarro and Fowler were trying to keep it alive, but they were fighting against four Bears, and eventually the Bears, outnumbering the Cardinals, come away with the rebound. Coach Pierce is going to take another timeout. I tell you what, he's only going to have two left, and there's a whole lot of game left. Get the idea? Maybe Pierce sees something here that he's got to get corrected. This game feels like it's at a key moment. Cardinals have a chance here to pull away. You got one starter on the bench when Stevens, who they really needed for points. It's been all McLaughlin and Stevens. Of those 26 points, all but 5 have come from McLaughlin and Stevens. McLaughlin's starting to look tired, and Stevens is on the bench with 4 fouls. So I'm sure Cheyenne Reydon knows that much better than I do. And they're going to have to figure out where to get some points, or else their defense is going to have to step up and hold the Cardinals to next to nothing for the next quarter and a half. So Coach Pierce burns another timeout. He's only got 2 left. Coach Carr still has his full complement of 5. Same 5 come back out on the floor. Boyette, Gonzalez, and McLaughlin are starters, and they're out there. But Stevens and Pennington are having to take a break. Stevens with the 3 fouls and Pennington to rest. Gonzalez has it in the corner. Cardinals try for the double team. Here it is to McLaughlin. McLaughlin distributes it out to Gonzalez, now to Boyette. They're trying to free up Gonzalez for a 3. Into the short corner. It's tipped out of bounds. McDaniel had it last, and the Cardinals touched it to knock it out. Gonzalez will take a break. 1 starter to the bench. Pennington will come back in. Pennington's been tremendous in rebounding and defense, but has had a propensity of throwing the ball away when he does have it in his hands. McLaughlin gets it, goes up, and it's in. Tell you what, McLaughlin is going to have to put stirrups on the guy before this game's over, because he is just carrying that Bears team along with him, keeping him within 3. Tell you what, Bears has really stepped up their defensive intensity. They're going man-to-man here. Cardinals are trying to run them through some screens, and you're seeing some playoff defense there. I give kudos to Cheyenne. I did not know that they had it in them to play man-to-man like that. Cardinals trying to get a mismatch here. Huffman working against Pennington. Now to Alvarado. Back up top to Fowler. McLaughlin is now on Alvarado. Oops, CP. CP's got an opening. Oh, went for the pick and roll with Riley. Ball's loose. Uh-oh. Injured player for Cheyenne. He's down and he's not getting up. Looks like a high ankle sprain. So Cheyenne's trying to run with only 4 guys. Coach Pierce only has 2 timeouts. He can't afford to use one here. It's a miss. Tell you what, he had the foul. Or sorry, that was McDaniel. McDaniel's who went down with that ankle sprain. You can see it. You get that ankle sprain, even little bump shots get hard to make. He's going to go to the line and try to shoot free throws. Garza's going to come back in. Cardinals could really use an offensive left. Garza can really get going from outside. The openings are there. Leonard's going to come back in as well. So 2 starters re-enter the game for the Cardinals, and it's the full complement of starters for the Cardinals. CP and Jet, Navarro, Leonard, and Garza. McDaniel makes 1. Foul, by the way, did go on Carson Peters. That's a big one. He's going to have to play with 3 now. Leonard's got it, looking for Elijah. Elijah's got it deep, goes up over McLaughlin and puts it in. Tell you what, you forget that Leonard played wing every year until this year. This year he's playing predominantly as a post player or forward, depending on how you want to call it. But with a pass like that to Elijah, you can see those skills still in there. Great job by Jackson, great follow or finish by Elijah, and the Cardinals now with a 4-point lead. Gonzalez out to Boyette. Boyette tentatively dribbles in, then kicks it back out to Payne. McLaughlin wants a lob. He's trying to get behind Leonard, but that's too far a pass to make. The Cheyenne team will skip it across. They like making that long pass. There you see one. Elijah's got it. Elijah coming in. Tell you what, no call on the contact. Elijah misses the free throw, or sorry, misses the layup. Into Gonzalez. This could be a 5-point swing, and it is. That was huge. Elijah came in. If he goes up straight for that layup, he's probably going to easily get the call. I think it was a foul anyway, but the referee disagreed. Elijah doesn't get the call. He misses the shot. And they're allowing a lot of hand checking. They're calling shots on the body, but they are allowing a lot of contact on the hands. Early in the game, the officiating was going a bit against the Cardinals. Coach Carr said something about it and got a bench warning. He's had to be a lot more subdued for the rest of the game, and a lot of these calls you can see not necessarily going one way or the other, but sometimes it's the no calls where it's been a little bit frustrating for Cardinals fans. Cardinals do hold a 1-point lead as we head into the 4th. Your scoring, Huffman now is sitting at 11, Carson 14, and Elijah's got 8. Nobody else has scored for the Cardinals. Cardinals are going to need to get some points from somewhere. It's only been 33 so far on the board. Carson's got 3 fouls. Elijah's got 2. Max 1, Saul 1, and Riley 1. And for the Bears, as far as the scoring goes, it's two names, McLaughlin and Stevens. McLaughlin has 15. Stevens has 8. And Gonzalez has the 2 3-pointers. The only other bucket comes from Pennington. He has one bucket for 2 points. Foul trouble, Stevens has 4 and CP has 3. Nobody else has more than 2. So, playoff basketball. Here we go. 4th quarter, and this game's up for grabs. Cardinals have the senior leadership. Cardinals have shown the better propensity for shooting outside. Right now on the inside, McLaughlin has been a major weapon. What's going to be the story for this 4th quarter? On the floor for the Cardinals, you got Huffman, who's looking to drive. Jumpers up by Jet. It is a miss. Nobody was there to rebound. CP tried flying in at the last. Cheyenne's done a much better job on the boards than the Cardinals have. Sorry, let me run through the lineup again. Cardinals have CP and Jet, Saul Alvarado, Elijah Navarro, and Riley Fowler. And it's all starters except for Stevens for Cheyenne. Reydon. They've got Baker in right now to go with Boyette and Gonzalez, McLaughlin and Pennington. Long shot. That didn't come close to anything. Boyette went for it, and he didn't hit it. Boyette can hit that 3, but not so much this time. So the Cardinals have the ball. They'll come the other way. Remember, Coach Pierce only has 2 timeouts. He's getting ready to send Stevens back into the game. It's a huge risk, but you get the feeling that the Bears are going to need Stevens' scoring if they're going to hang with the Cardinals. So Stevens getting ready to come in. He'll be carrying 4 fouls. CP's got it up top. Cheyenne's playing a man, but they're sagging a lot now. Alvarado up top, over to CP. Jet flashes across. Riley's got it. Over to Elijah, into the corner for Alvarado. Back to Jet. Jet working against Pennington. Riley to CP. Tell you what, looks like a lot of nerves out there. Both teams just kind of dancing right now. Not really looking to take too much. Oh! Boyette does a great job, times CP's dribble and takes it away. 1-point game, every possession matters right now. Baker was looking inside for McLaughlin. McLaughlin tells him, hey, give me that entry pass down on the floor. Young players who might be watching, when you're throwing that ball into the post, unless you really need to, give them a bounce pass. Those post players will thank you for it. They can go right into their shot or right into whatever they need to do immediately. It's also a lot harder for the defense to take it away. Practice that thing, folks. McLaughlin kicks the backside corner. They work it around to Pennington. Pennington misses. Tell you what, Gonzalez came over the top of Jet. Jet had blocked him out, and they let Gonzalez just jump and tip that ball away. Cardinals end up with it, though, off the loose ball. McLaughlin's willing to let Fowler shoot it as much as he wants to. Riley really doesn't want to take that shot. In a 1-point game, every possession is really important now. And some of these, oops, Riley slipped as he came in. This floor is not, even though you can hear the squeaks on the mic, this is not the stickiest floor. Oh, Euro step by Elijah. He gets the shot to fall. He's going to draw the foul. Everybody was holding their breath on that one. Cheyenne thought it was a walk, but that's a Euro step, folks. Perfect timing by Elijah on it. And that'll draw the foul. And on Gonzalez, that is his second. Cardinals have had so many good things happen when they have penetrated against this Bears defense. And yet again, so now all three the 3 seniors who have scored for the Cardinals are in double figures. That's Elijah and Jet and CP. Riley tips the ball out of bounds. Gonzalez was trying to throw it over the top. Cardinals with a 4-point lead with under 5 left to go. This is still anybody's game. Remember, Stevens is in, and he's carrying those 4 fouls. McLaughlin roaming on the inside. He really wants to get something. Fighting around for position in there. They're going to throw him a lob. That's terrible timing. Pennington really struggles to get that pass dialed in. Oh, CP. throws it and just about has the same effect as Pennington's pass, but Elijah can go up. Elijah skies for that ball, gets it, and bounces it off of one of the Bears. So the Cardinals will get to throw it in from right underneath the bucket. Oh, inside to Jet. Tell you what, tremendous pass. Not even Jet was ready for that one. Cardinals hold on to it, though. Fowler over the top. McLaughlin just backs off. He's just daring Riley to shoot that ball. Stevens is guarding Saul. Oh, inside to Jet. Jet goes up, takes contact by Pennington, but puts it in anyway. 6 points now. Cardinals lead 38-32. Let's see who takes this timeout. If this is Pierce, he'll only have one left. It was. Cheyenne takes the timeout. They've only got one timeout left. That is huge. .6 points. This game is in danger of getting away from Cheyenne. Stevens carrying those 4 fouls has to be extremely careful. On defense, they've had to all but take him out of the defense. They've got him guarding Saul. Saul will drive and put up a ball, but he doesn't like shooting much from set shots. And so I'm sure Cheyenne's got that in the scouting report, and that's why they've got Stevens on him. McLaughlin they've had on Riley. Riley has been unwilling to attack the basket to put McLaughlin in a bad spot. So the offense right now is running through CP, Elijah, and Jet. So what they've done is they put their defenders who aren't in foul trouble on those 3. Only problem is if the Cardinals can catch them, that is Gonzalez and Boyette and Pennington. Pennington's doing a good job to stay up with Jet, but it's a tall order. And then Gonzalez and Boyette have significant size disadvantages. So the Bears, down by 6, use their next to last timeout with half of the quarter left to go. But it's elimination time. If you lose here, you go home. So I don't blame Pierce for using it, but it leaves him with one less tool left in his toolbox. One less bullet in the cylinder, so to speak. Stevens distributes it out to Boyette, over to Pennington. Pennington drives, kicks to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looks to drive, kick out to Boyette. Back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looks to pull trigger. I tell you what, Cheyenne's starting to look a little nervous. Stevens, tremendous body control by Stevens. I don't even know what to call that. He shot it from the left side with his right hand, kind of a style that almost looked like a reverse layup finger roll. Alvarado dribbles through a double team. Stevens might be done. Nope, that one's going to go on Boyette. That is his second. Good job by Alvarado. I don't know if he knows about Stevens with those 4 fouls, but I'll tell you what, it might as well look like he'd called it that way. He went right into that double team. Oh, pass gets tipped. Fowler dives for it, but can't get it, and the Cardinals turned it over. Elijah takes it right back. I have bragged so many different times this year about Elijah's body control. I don't talk enough about his ability to elevate. Elijah can get up enough to dunk a ball. Oh, Boyette just about takes it away. Boyette and Gonzalez are so quick. Alvarado inside, terrible pass. Boyette's got it back, and this looks like 2 nervous teams who are both afraid of going home. Somebody's got to step up here and make a play. Pennington crossed court to Gonzalez. Back to Boyette, now to Gonzalez, into the corner for McLaughlin. Pennington kicks it back to Boyette. Bears are burning some more time. This is a big possession here. Cheyenne really needs points. Into the high post to Stevens. Out to Boyette. Boyette's going to put it up. And it's in. Huge shot by Boyette. Paid off. They were patient. They got the opening. They made it pay. And it's back to a 1-possession game. CP's double team gets it up ahead to Huffman. Out to Navarro. CP gets McLaughlin up in the air. Drives to the bucket. Draws the foul. This might be it on Stevens. Nope, that is not on Stevens. That'll be on Pennington. That is his second. I tell you what, Stevens is playing it awfully close for having 4 fouls, but we're under 2 minutes left. From here on out, you might just play it straight up. Oh, it's a 1-point game, not a 3-point game. I thought it was a 6-point game when he made the 3. CP makes 1. Makes both. Carson makes it a 3-point game again. Oh, and another ball thrown away. These guys love that baseball-style pass. Gonzalez threw it at Pennington, but it wasn't where Pennington was. It was where he had been a moment before. That's huge. Cardinals here can go ahead and run clock if they want to, or just wait for a good opportunity and attack for an easy basket if one comes open. So he back to Jet, over to Alvarado. Stevens with Alvarado. I tell you what, you could just pull Alvarado out with Stevens on him. Stevens doesn't want to get that 5th foul. Cheyenne's not fouling yet. Back to CP. Boyette steps out, double team for CP. He gets it back to Elijah. Into Jet. It's up and in. That's a 5-point difference now. That is huge. The two seniors work together, get another 2, and it's 5 points now between them, 42-37. Gonzalez is setting up on that backside corner. He really wants that 3, but it's a 2-score game with one of them being a 3. It's like the old riddle. I got 35 cents in my hand, and one of the quarters is not a dime. What have I got? And right now, oh, turnover. Alvarado's got it. Cardinals could hold it here if Alvarado can get it in. That would have made it a 3-possession game. Either way, Saul gets a chance to go to the line to make it a 7-point game if he can make both. Boyette picks up the foul. He had to do that. Tell you what, if Saul pulls that ball back out and we just run some more clock. Saul misses the first. Tell you what, this is the thing you practice for. This is what you practice for when you're sitting in the gym and it's June, it's hot. You're there at 7:30 in the morning, you're practicing free throws. You're thinking, my team's in an elimination game. I've got to make these free throws. I've got to do this. They're trying to take it away from Gonzalez. Jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Cheyenne. Some of the Cardinals fans were calling for a travel, but what he was doing wasn't a travel. Cardinals are going to come back, go ahead and set up. No press now. 50 seconds left. Boyette up top. Cardinals looking to dance on Saturday. Fowler uses jump, knocks that ball right back at Boyette. Baker's come in. They're looking inside for McLaughlin. Ball's off of McLaughlin, but it's off of one of the Cardinals who's right behind him. Cheyenne will throw it in from underneath the bucket. Pierce has 1 timeout left. He's going to send Stevens back in. Pennington will come out. Stevens will come back in. Stevens and McLaughlin, remember, have accounted for almost all of the points for Cheyenne. And they've been doing it from the inside. Gonzalez has hit a couple of 3-pointers. There's Baker. There's Gonzalez over the top of the screen. Now Baker for a long 3. He falls down on it. Cheyenne wants a foul. Jet comes away with the rebound, and Jet's going to get fouled. This might be it. Yeah, Baker fell after the shot. Honestly, sometimes that gets called for a foul. You got to be careful with blocking out 3-point shooters. Cheyenne not happy. If you could see the foul count, and I don't know if Daniel's got it up there on the foul count, and he does, so you guys have the information that this crowd does. No fouls have been called on the Cardinals in this quarter. And Cheyenne now is at the full 5 count. That was a foul on McLaughlin. That is his 3rd. If Huffman makes one of these, it's a 6-point game. And that would make it 2 3-pointers. The Cardinals could focus on the 3-point line. He does. Timeout taken. Somewhere along the way, we had the last timeout taken by Cheyenne Reydon. This is the first timeout. Nope, this is by Cheyenne Reydon. Oh, I take that back. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the foul count. Cheyenne Reydon still has 1 left. And Coach Carr just used his first. There's your Cardinal cheerleaders. All right, Cardinal defense comes back out on the floor. You got Saul Alvarado, Elijah Navarro, Carson Peters, Riley Fowler, and Jet Huffman. On the floor for Cheyenne Reydon, you've got Pennington, Boyette, Gonzalez, Baker, and McLaughlin. 6 points means 2 3-pointers, or else you got to go 3 possessions. CP knocks the ball away, but Boyette recovers. Gonzalez going for 3. It's a miss. CP trying for it, but tips it out of bounds. This is a tips of the finger moment. 19 seconds left. Boyette's going to throw it in from underneath the bucket. Baker. Oh, Alvarado took it away and got fouled. Alvarado's going to go to the line shooting 2. Well, Baker couldn't have fouled him much faster if he tried. And I don't know if he tried to grab him or not to do it. Big thing here is if Saul can make one of these. If he makes one of them, it's guaranteed 3 possessions no matter what. And with the amount of time left on the floor, the game would be essentially over. If he can make one. Look at this Jet stepping in there. Cause a little bit of rebounding chaos. Saul misses both, so the clock starts. It's still 2 possessions. Oh, and it goes out of bounds. It was tipped by the Cardinals. 13.5. Cardinals can't get comfortable yet, but are sitting right now in a pretty good spot. Up by 6. 13.5 left. It'll take a miracle for Cheyenne Reydon to win it. But they've got some good 3-point shooters. Oh, CP just about takes it away. Gonzalez steps inside the 3-point line, puts it up for 2. That's it, folks. Game's over. Navarro gets the rebound, runs out the clock. And the Cardinals keep on dancing. Tell you what, hats off to Cheyenne Reydon. That is by far the best 13-12 team you are going to find in the state of Oklahoma. Tremendous game. Gave these Cardinals everything they want. The Cardinals have 18 wins for only the second time in the last decade. In 2018, Cardinals had 18 wins. They're sitting there now, 18-5. Tremendous season for Coach Carr in his first year with the Cardinals, and the Cardinals get quite the test tomorrow. We'll find out who we're playing a little bit later. It'll be a 7:30 game tonight. The Academy and Canute are playing. Whoever loses that game, we will match up with in Canute at 2:30 tomorrow. I almost said 2:30 o'clock. Cardinals will be playing tonight at 6 o'clock. The ladies will be matching up against the Cheyenne Reydon Lady Bears. Let me run through the stats for you before we sign off.
Be there, but right now there's not a whole lot to do in OKEENE, but we're going to have to ask you to leave, exit the gym, so we can get clean and ready for tonight's game. We will reopen the doors at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
Okay.
We'll reopen the doors.
Jet, they were just announcing about how everybody has to leave. Jets finished with 16 points. No fouls, by the way. I didn't have all the other totals: rebounds, blocks, steals, assists, all that stuff. Carson finishes, got to do some quick math here, 16 points. He had 3 fouls, by the way. Elijah finished with 11 and 2 fouls, and nobody else scored for the Cardinals. McLaughlin did everything he could, but just could not score enough by himself. Only 5 guys scored. It was really a low-scoring game, as you saw, 43-37. That's not really like either one of these two teams, but they really cancel each other out in a lot of ways. Gonzalez finishes with 6, Boyette with 3. All of those were 3-pointers. McLaughlin finishes 15. Oh, McDaniel had the 1 free throw. Pennington had a bucket for 2 points, and Stevens finishes with 10. So I'll tell you what, if I'm Cheyenne Reydon, I'm not happy about the fouls in the fourth quarter. I didn't feel like there was anything that really got missed by the Cardinals per se, but when you look up at the scoreboard like the Cheyenne fans could do, and you see 5 fouls called on one team and 0 on the other, and it actually was more than 5 team fouls, that's a tough pill to swallow. Tough one to swallow. But early in the game, they weren't calling anything on those guys. And so other than Stevens, nobody was in any sort of foul trouble until the very end of the game. Anyway, that'll finish things off. Big thanks to Daniel Ponce Villalobos, who was your engineer today and keeping everything right with the scoreboard, all the stuff you're seeing on the screen. Nia Moreno was running camera for you, and I got to tell you, this was a challenge being down at one end of the court, but I know she did a fantastic job. And big thanks to everyone who's helped out with all the donations to make things possible. If the girls had won today, which their game's coming up later, and the guys had lost, which we wouldn't want to see the guys lose no matter what, we were going to be able to stream esports tomorrow. We got some new hardware, thanks to the donations that you guys have been putting in, to be able to stream that. That takes some special hardware to do that stuff. But it'll be esports coming up a little bit later this season when we can free ourselves up and not have to be two places at the same time. Also, big thanks OKEENE for covering streaming rights for the entire playoffs, so that way all of the rest of your donations can go towards helping with hardware and other things and helping us get ready. The stick and ball sports are coming up. Softball, slow pitch softball, baseball, and golf coming up. We'd like to get you as much coverage of those things as we possibly can. So we've got some new hardware we've got in mind for that as well. So we'll shut it down for now. We'll be back here at about 5:45 to talk about the girls' game and get you ready for it. So get yourselves a break, get rested up, get ready for more Cardinal basketball in a little less than 2 hours. See you a little bit later.